This is AQA Coordinated Science Chemistry Higher Paper 1 from June 2018, and this is question 6. So, group 2 metal carbonates thermally decompose to produce a metal oxide and a gas. We need the formula of each product when calcium carbonate is heated. So we know from calcium carbonate we're going to make calcium oxide. We need to know the formula of it. The seesaw rule is a way to go through if you're not so confident on this. I'm starting with the idea that it's calcium and oxygen. My positive ion goes on the left-hand side, my negative ion goes on the right-hand side. And what I can then do is add the charges on top of the seesaw. Calcium is group 2, so it's +2. Oxygen or oxide is -2 because it's group 6. I only need one of each of them. Seesaw is now balanced to 0, so my formula is CaO. You also have to remember that when you thermally decompose a metal carbonate, you make CO2 gas, and that's your second mark. Moving on, relative formula mass of a group 2 metal carbonate is 197. We're given the relative atomic masses of carbon and oxygen, although they would be on the periodic table if you looked on there as well. And we want to know the relative atomic mass of the metal and what that group 2 metal is. Now, we've just seen in the previous question that calcium, which we know is +2, bonds with one carbonate ion. So we know that a carbonate ion is -2. You will be expected to remember that. It also means we know the formula of this other group 2 metal carbonate will be MCO3, where M is the unknown metal. What is known is one carbon with an atomic mass of 12 and 3 oxygens with atomic masses of 16. That's a total of 60. And that means of the 197, 137 remain. All I then have to do is go to the periodic table, work my way down group 2 until I can see the metal that has a mass number of 137, and that's barium, as you can see here highlighted. On to 6.3, and we are doing a gradient calculation. Now, it's always important to show you're working on these. I'm going to use as much of the graph as possible, so I've added the lines that I'm going to use, and I'm then going to take my values from here. So, my y is 0 to 330, so that's 330, and my x is 0 to 2, so that's 2. And working out gradient, as I'm sure you'll know from maths, if you can't remember from chemistry, is change in y over change in x. And that takes us to 165. I've got 2 marks so far, one for the working out and one for the value. In terms of the units, well, I've done change in y, which is cm cubed, and I've divided that by grams. So my units are cm cubed divided by gram. Written in standard form would be cm to the 3, g to the -1. Either of those would be acceptable. 6.4, we're told 24 decimeter cubed of gas is produced when 1 mole of a group 2 carbonate is heated. Determine the relative formula mass of the group 2 carbonate W. Now, I'm going to use the graph again, and I'm going to look at 240 centimeters cubed because I can scale that up, and I can see that 240 cm cubed would come from 1.45 grams. But 24 decimeters cubed is 24,000 centimeters cubed. So in 24,000 centimeters cubed, there would be 100 times that mass. And that takes me to a value of 145.